Welcome, everybody, to today's very, very special episode of the I Went Outside Today podcast. This is one of your three hosts, Chris.
This is Cheryl.
I'm Sydney.
And you may hear this in the background. Cheryl and I have a new addition to the family. His name is Freddie. He wants to go outside right now, but we can't keep an eye on him while we record, so he has to be sad and in here with us.
His option is out in here with us or in the crate, so.
Yep. So if you hear heavy breathing and the sounds of click-clacking along the linoleum floor, that's not us. That's not the devil coming to come to take back what Sydney owes from her Bune pendant.
I'm gonna find it. It's somewhere. I have no idea where.
Sydney, your time has come.
No.
And that's how it'll play out.
Nope.
But you know what? Without the devil, you can't spell evil. And what we did today was medieval. We went to the Medieval Faire in Bashaw.
Chris looks so proud of himself right now. Like he just thought of that segue and he's fucking pumped about it.
Segue. I did just think of it.
He's extremely proud of himself.
Take your improv classes.
Wait, so for everyone who doesn't know where we're talking about, Bashaw is a small picturesque town with a big heart and country charm.
Is it Bashaw? I've been saying Bashaw.
Bashaw.
We went to Bashaw.
It's like, oh, Bashaw. Like when somebody says
like
something
Bashaw.
complimentary.
Sorry.
I might be saying it wrong. I'm not from Bashaw.
Me neither.
No. It's nestled near the valley of Buffalo Lake and the crossroads of Highway 21 and 53 in the Prairie Parkland County, Alberta.
Berta.
And here is the description of the event. So join us at the first annual Bashaw, Alberta Medieval Fair and Artisan Market. So you hear that, guys? We were there for the first one. We're part of history.
Was it?
Yeah.
We did it.
For its first year, the Bashaw Medieval Fair and Artisan Market have existeth to transport you to a time of majesty and magic. Don thy robes, gowns, amour, I think that's supposed to be armor, and burlap, and immerse yourself in medieval merriment. There was a time when Bashaw was without, but no more. Walk with brave knights, rub shoulders with Vikings, wander the medieval market, be amazed and entertained. Get ready for a weekend of epic excitement and treasures from throughout the realm. Talented vendors and interactive displays, magic, music, and enthralling tales. Performances both weird and wonderful. Authentic costumes and decor.
Yep. It was like 30 degrees.
I should mention that we did pre-record this in July. Actually, by the time this releases, Cheryl and I will be fully hitched and married.
Mm-hmm.
Living
Well, don't
happily
jinx
ever
yourself.
after.
Touch wood.
I am manifesting. You're over there jinxing yourself. I am
You're
manifesting.
jinxing.
Should also say this is the summer. We've had a rainy start to the summer so far, so Sydney's a little bit sour since her whole house has been slowly flooded with water.
Like a quarter of my house flooded with water. But yeah, I wasn't amused. Learned a lot about sump pumps.
Now you can write a book.
I'm going to write a book.
Now you can start a TED Talk.
It's going to be called So You Think You Can Sump.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess this is coming out. When is this coming out? In September?
October.
Oh. Yeah, because you'll be married. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there with you.
Are you?
You're coming, right?
Yeah, I RSVP'd verbally. Oh, if you want to start a big controversy, you can ask whether or not it's mean to not send in your... I don't think you have to send in your RSVP card if you say that you're coming.
If you say you're coming and then don't tell us there's a +1, your +1 is going to be sitting in the parking lot.
I don't have any friends. Who am I going to +1?
You do have friends.
I know, I have like 7 friends, but...
You might make a friend.
Am I supposed to
You
bring
might
a friend?
not.
You don't have to.
That's what the
Oh.
+1 is for.
I don't know. I didn't read the invite.
Is this why you don't know what day it's on?
I know what day it's on.
Is this why you don't know who's actually getting married there?
Listen. I definitely know who's getting married, what day it's on, and where it is. 100% know those things.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
As her eyes frantically dart to all corners of the room.
I don't like mail. I got a thing about mail.
It was hand delivered to you.
It was still in an envelope. It was just
Should
like
we
a visceral reaction
should
to
we
it.
send a strippergram next time?
No, that'd be weird. But if you sent like a candygram,
But you wouldn't open the letter.
You
That's
just
what
eat the candy.
Yeah.
but like a Christmas candygram, like in Mean Girls, where it's like candygrams for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco.
I don't know if those things exist, but strippergrams for sure do.
That scene exists. It's from the movie Mean Girls.
Well, I haven't seen any delivery service like that here.
Hmm.
So Sydney may or may not have slept through our wedding on the Saturday that it happened on.
Is it early?
/ will happen on.
Is this like a morning affair?
This changes your whole
Ugh.
commitment to showing up.
I mean, maybe.
Also, other people will be there.
Gross. Like a lot of people?
At least 1,000.
Ew.
We invited all our fans. So
We're off track now. We have been derailed.
So for this
When were trains
particular
invented?
1975.
That's not true. That's false.
So for today's episode, all three of us actually went out and did the thing today. We all hopped into the car and drove down an hour and a half to the small town of Bashaw/Bashaw. And yeah, we showed up. I guess it's on a ranch is where the entire event was being held.
It's an agricultural facility.
Okay.
Yeah.
It had horse stables there, what appeared to be a very old and very derelict horse racing track.
Mm-hmm.
Which you think in a town that size, there wouldn't be that many people coming to horse races, but maybe.
What
Maybe
made you
there's a
think
lot
it
of
was
people.
derelict? It just looked like a pen.
Everything was like extremely rusted with grass growing through it that had not been mowed.
Oh, yeah.
Like the starting gate where they all jump out of, it doesn't look like those have been open in a decade.
I didn't notice that at all.
And you were there with us.
I was looking at the horses and the jousting, so
You were thinking about all
I
of
don't
your
see rust in tall grass.
bad blood with horses over the years,
Yeah.
just fuming.
I was like, fuck those
Silently.
horses. They are the worst.
We had to hold you back from kicking one of the horses in the shin.
Get my revenge. I'm gonna do it.
The guys behind us while we were waiting for the jousting to start were talking about eating horse meat, so there you go.
Ew, I don't want to. I want to kick one. I don't want to eat one. You know what I mean? I just want to be even. I don't think I could eat a horse. What do you think it tastes like?
I don't know.
IKEA's meatballs.
It probably tastes okay, actually. It's a herbivore animal.
Yeah.
Does it taste like a cow, I wonder?
I mean, we could try that as an episode of our podcast.
No. You guys eat it. I don't want to eat it. I just want to know.
You realize your brother will troll you and tell you it tastes like something super amazing.
Yeah. He's the worst.
It tasted like baby monkey.
Ugh. Ugh.
Jousting, yes, was actually one of the first things that we had gone to. As soon as we got in through the front gate, which they had to make change for us for our entry fee, and they gave us a little bit extra. They gave us like $10 extra change, so we had to run back and give them their money back.
I'm bad at math, and when they gave me the change, I was like, yeah, that looks right. And then both Chris and Sydney were like, that wasn't right.
Math is hard in 30-degree heat.
Yeah. Math is hard. I had to think about it too. I didn't know immediately.
Yep, they gave us our entry bracelets, so we waltzed right on in, and over the loudspeaker they were announcing that the jousting was about to start, so we hoofed it right over there to the old horse racing track, now jousting ring. Is it a ring? Is it a field?
It's like a field ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was horses and people and knights in armor.
Just like at a normal jousting,
Yeah.
as far as we know. 'Cause
It
we've
totally
not
makes me
seen
want
the
to watch A
original
Knight's
joust.
Tale now. Like really badly. And just watch Heath Ledger going, I want to be a knight.
Strangely enough, we were talking about that movie this morning.
Strange. Everyone's talking about that movie when they see anything related to jousting. That's not strange at all.
We weren't even talking about jousting.
You just talk about A Knight's Tale when you're not talking about jousting?
We were on the topic of actors who everyone thought would be like terrible for a role, and then it turned out they were amazing.
Yeah.
And you thought he was terrible for what role?
Well, everyone thought that he would be a terrible Joker when he played the Joker.
Yeah.
So up until then, he was like mostly known for A Knight's Tale and 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, I didn't know people thought he was going to be terrible at that.
Yeah.
Well, he fucked everyone up with that one.
Yes, he did.
Yep. Forever.
You want to know how I got these scars?
Yeah, just like A Knight's Tale. So horses, knights. We had 4 people in armor there, I think.
Yeah.
Total?
Yep.
There was a green knight, a blue knight.
Sorry.
Was it a white knight?
No, it's a dog smelling my foot.
Yeah. You gotta smell his feet back.
My feet are ticklish. Anyway, so there was knights there.
Yes. Green, blue, white. I figure... Can't remember what the other one...
I thought
Those
that
armor
one knight
colors.
was like the blue knight. I thought that was a lady, but it wasn't.
No.
You know, I thought it was a lady too, just the way they were sitting.
From the side, it looked like the armor had boobies.
I mean...
I have a picture. It looked like
might
boobies.
have boobies.
But
I mean, men can have boobies too.
I guess so.
They get movies.
But it looked like, from some angles, it looked like the armor was purposely curved into like a bosom. But then when I saw the armor from the front, it wasn't supposed to be.
That's why they call it a breastplate. Ba-dum-ts.
And then they attempted to joust.
And you say attempted?
I think they only got one actual joust in, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They got one good joust in, and after that, the horses just seem to want to screw around, run around.
And do whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah. At one point, they almost ran into each other in the same track.
Yeah, that was scary,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
I think the one horse was grumpy.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, if you had a metal-clad human being on your back in 30-degree weather, you'd probably be like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have bridles too, which some horses hate.
Bridle's the thing in their mouth that pulls their cheeks back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not supposed to pull their cheeks back, but if they're pulling on it really hard, then yeah. So he might have not liked the bridle or been used to it.
I think it was more, considering this is the first festival, they're not used to performing in such a big crowd.
Yeah, that's true. We
Yeah.
were talking about the cheering maybe. But I was thinking about that. Don't you think that's like a really easy thing to fix? Because you got to teach the horse to run at some point. Like just play sounds of cheering.
It's a little bit different because unless you put blinders on your horse, which they did not have, they're still going to see the people in the crowd moving around.
Oh.
So just the sound.
So maybe that causes too much excitement.
And so, have either of you seen jousting before?
No, but I have a really important thought. If there was a version of jousting for the sea, what animal would you ride to joust? I say orcas.
Dolphin.
Dolphin, yeah.
Dolphin, really?
Yeah.
I think orcas would be better.
Dolphins or orcas are too wide. You wouldn't be able to get your legs on either side
You
of
can
them.
make a bigger stick. Oh, to sit on the orca.
Yes.
Well, you just sit cross-legged.
But then how do you...
I don't know. Make a little orca harness. Who cares?
I'm gonna,
Just a little
Cheryl and I are going to easily knock you off of your orca.
We'll
and you'll
see.
be splashing around. We'll be laughing and laughing.
We'll fucking see about that. Or a moose. A moose can dive up to like 20 feet, so that's maybe also a good option.
Moose might also be more rideable.
A moose can straight up run underwater too. Moose don't care
That's
where they
true.
are; they will just run. So
They don't have to obey the laws of physics.
yeah, so there's options for sea jousting.
Sydney, you were in Vegas recently. Did you take advantage of the Excalibur Hotel where they regularly have jousting in there?
I couldn't even find my way out of the fucking Venetian half the time. I was in Vegas for a work trip, and I didn't have time to do anything exciting. I didn't even get to go outside, and I was near that volcano. I didn't even get to go see the volcano go off. Or the pirate show.
Was it hard to get out of the Venetian because you couldn't see past the blinds?
Ha ha. No, because you go into the lobby and then you take one elevator and that takes you to a different floor, and you have to go down a really long hallway and like tap in past security, and then you take another elevator and then you go up and then you go down another hallway, and then eventually you find your room. So I kept forgetting about the second elevator and getting trapped on the floor because you think you take one elevator and you're done, you're out, and like no, you're still very trapped.
We should turn your Vegas trip into an episode.
That's all it was. Just me getting fucking lost in the hallway.
Elevator Odyssey. So yeah, this was my first experience with jousting as well.
Do you want to be a knight now?
No, I'm
Do you
too
want
big
to
for their
be
armor.
a knight?
I feel like I'm also too big for a horse.
Are you too big for armor? Are knights little?
Well, I mean, so back when jousting would have been a, like, sport that was done more commonly, yes, we would have been shorter.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That way your horse could go faster. You know, like jockeys are really little. I still wanted like a really little jouster.
Aren't they like children sometimes, and it's like not cool?
That I can't tell you.
Maybe if they're taking testosterone.
Maybe.
They have little beards. So yeah, we're talking about our first. This is our first.
Jousting. You've never
Jousting.
been jousting.
I've seen it before. I'm trying to think of where I've seen it before, but I've definitely seen it before. It may have not been live. Like, it may have
Like you watched
been...
it on TV?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I used to do horseback riding as a kid, so I watch a lot of, like, horse-related type sporting stuff on TV. Just because it's cool and is interesting to me.
So yeah, like you guys said, they only jousted the one time, and then how horses started to get uppity, and then kind of like were jumping the gun on like running down the course.
Yeah.
And then they had two women ride down the jousting track, tossing a stuffed rabbit between themselves, and I'm curious as to what that tradition is.
I don't want to Google it and find out it was a real rabbit.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that tradition was either. Like, it was probably just like a stunt thing, because that probably requires a lot of coordination.
Running at the same pace and everything.
Yeah. Cheryl, you had taken horseback riding. Do you think you could have done that with the tossing the stuffed animal back and forth?
I mean, as long as you're in time with the other person, it should be pretty easy. Right?
Yeah. We could probably try it on bicycles later, just to see how hard this is.
You're much faster on the bicycle than me. I don't think I could keep pace.
We'll match speed.
Horses are way easier than a bicycle, true story.
As long as they don't throw you off a mountain or kick you in the shin.
I mean, that's the usual advice.
Don't get thrown off a mountain.
So after they kind of gave up on the jousting, we wandered off to the artisan market, which was an indoor part, which we were glad for because we're standing around in 30-degree Celsius heat. Kind of your usual festival kind of vendors were there. There was the tarot fortune teller lady there. There was somebody giving angel readings.
Okay, but did you see there was one guy or one booth where he had like these tiaras made out of crystals? Those were fucking dope.
Did you tell them all your crystal knowledge to impress him?
No.
No?
I like to go to farmers markets and markets like that, but I don't like it when the people talk to me and ask me how I'm doing.
Yeah, you just fill them in on your knowledge from the Crystal Basics workshop that we made you go to.
Well,
Call
they're
back to
selling
season
crystals,
2.
so I assume that they know.
Some people don't know.
My favorite part of looking at markets is when people don't speak to me. So.
Well then.
But I really liked his tiaras. And I want one for everyday wear. They were. Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you see these?
No.
They're
I've heard
amazing.
of tiaras.
But they had like crystal columns, like real crystals. It was cool.
How much did it set you back?
I didn't see the price. I couldn't get close enough. Someone was always looking at them. It was annoying.
Would you wear one if you had it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day.
Did you get a business card?
For what?
So you can call them and buy it.
Oh, I thought you meant would I have a business card while I was wearing my tiara? I was like, for what reason?
I mean, you probably should as well, just to fend off any questions, and you just have like FAQs on your card.
No, I didn't see a business card, but I mean, it was a pretty small market, so I'm sure they'll be on the vendors list and I can find it. And then I bought a aromatherapy necklace.
A Roman therapy necklace?
Aromatherapy necklace.
Oh.
God. And it's a horsicorn.
I thought you didn't like horses.
I like horsicorns. Unicorns are cool.
You're letting your boundaries slip with horses.
I don't know. It was little and I liked it. Don't tell me what I can and can't. I can wear a unicorn if I want. It's very different from a horse. They're majestical.
They just got a spike in their brain.
A horse would never throw you off a mountain.
A horse?
A unicorn. It was so hot it fried my fucking brain. I don't even know which way is up right now. I got a unicorn aromatherapy necklace. I'm really excited about it. You guys made friends.
There's other people there. There's somebody selling beekeeping supplies.
Ew.
You hate the bees.
I don't hate the bees. I just don't want to keep them.
I'm telling the bees on you.
I just want, they should just go to the wild. I don't need to keep them.
Why not? You can have honey.
I can get honey at the store.
Not all of it's real honey.
The honey that I buy is real honey.
Oh.
Tell our audience about your friend that you met.
So we had met Colin from the live action roleplay LARPing group. He was part of the Edmonton chapter, or the
Calgary chapter.
He was part of the Calgary chapter, but fun fact, he actually is from Edmonton.
Yeah.
And I think he was just running it because where he was at this time in his life running things, it was easier for him to run the Calgary chapter, but he knew exactly how far we would have to drive to attend.
Yeah. Would you go to an adult role-playing summer camp, Sydney?
I'm not good at staying in character. I might go, but do I have to sleep outside? I'm not big on camping.
They have cabins.
Yep. He explained to
Maybe.
us his first trip. He was convinced to go by his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend by the way he
Who
was
knows?
talking.
Yeah.
And he was camping overnight because it's a weekend thing, by the sounds of things. And in the morning, he was making pancakes on his camp stove for his breakfast. And he noticed two cosplayers in monster outfits creeping up on his campsite. And he had a moment right there where he's like, do I just finish my breakfast and, not join in, or do I take part now and turn off the camp stove and run away? And he chose B, and he said it was one of the more transformative experiences with his whole LARPing life.
Fleeing monsters and leaving his pancakes?
Yep. Or else the monsters attack you and you die and you lose.
Did the monsters eat his pancakes? Were they there when he got back?
I don't know.
You didn't ask that question?
No, I wasn't concerned about that. I wanted to know how it all goes down.
Probably paid good money for those pancakes.
He was cooking them.
Yeah.
They cost, pancake mix cost like $2. Probably $4 now. Thanks, inflation.
No one can afford $4.
No one. Not me.
He said if you want to go try it out, it's free for first-timers. It costs $0 to
Yeah, but
show
you
up.
gotta, go get your LARP gear and dress up and stuff.
They will loan it to you.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally free to just go out and try.
Have you guys ever played with that stuff, though?
I have not, but
It's fun. You can fucking wail on your coworker. I used to sell that stuff.
on your coworkers?
Yeah, because I used to sell it at Millennium. So you can just, because it's soft, so
Yep.
we just beat the shit out of each other all the time with it.
So you have prior experience that would make you a shoo-in for this group.
Not with the acting, but with the wailing on my coworkers, yeah. That part is very cathartic.
Fair.
But now you can act like the forest witch or something while you beat them with a hammer.
I don't want to be a forest witch.
Twice
I want
as
to
big
be a
as your
bog
body.
witch.
All right, you me a bog witch.
Is there a bog there?
Probably.
Wow.
This is Alberta.
And it's
Wow.
also in your imagination, so if you can imagine a bog.
I can't.
Oh.
I don't know how.
You just get a lanyard with a name tag that says bog witch. You'll be fine.
I don't know. I'm just not really good at participating in things. This sounds like something that's better if you have the power of friendship, and I have the power of I want to lay on the floor in my house.
We have heard you have 0 friends.
0
But you could
friends.
make some.
Ew, sounds terrible.
Wait,
My favorite show right now is called Alone, and it's literally about people that just are alone in the forest, and all of the men cry, which is my favorite part.
We could sign you up for that too.
I would die.
Alone.
But I think I could outstarve everybody.
you might find your sugar daddy who will pay for half of your rent so you can have an apartment of cats like you wanted.
On the show Alone?
No, on going to the LARPing weekend.
Oh, that makes more sense. Because they have probably some disposable income if they're going to a LARPing weekend.
We just solved all your life problems.
I don't know. It just seems like too many steps to do it. Like too many tasks.
You're a very particular person.
Yeah, like real particular.
I don't know how you get through your day.
I don't know how I get through my day either. There's a lot of medication involved.
Speaking of medication and things you swallow, after the artisanal market, we had wandered over to the barbecue.
Barbecue isn't medicine.
Yeah, I said, speaking of medicine and things you swallow.
Just crushing these segues.
I am crushing these segues that you can't even follow.
Crushing these segues.
Your mind is too baked from the sun.
It is.
And
And bring water if you go to these things. I didn't bring water.
so we had seen people walking around with like these big fistfuls of meat. And at the start, I thought, are they just eating up like a coiled up slice of ham or pork or something? And it turned out there were gigantic turkey drumsticks, which I had to have. One, you two had burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Authentic medieval burgers.
And all of the liquid. I just went and ordered all of the liquid.
You did.
Yeah, I got a water bottle and a 7-Up, and then I made Jill get me another water bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So we had our meals, and then we did one last lap around the event because this was a fairly small
Yeah.
event. We had tried to make it back. There was back in the artisanal market in the structure there was a stage, which a magician was scheduled to be on stage. But when we had gotten back, all they seemed to be doing was the registration for the costume contest.
Mm-hmm.
But they were doing that before, too, so I think the magician backed out or something.
Yeah.
Yep. And they were also looking, so as part of the costume contest, they also had nominations for the king and queen of the fair. So there's couples all lined up to hopefully be.
There was one couple.
There was,
Oh, yeah, they ran unopposed.
There was
Yeah.
the one couple, and then as we were leaving, and they're saying over the loudspeaker, like, anyone else wanted to sign up, nominate for the king and queen. Another couple had started walking towards.
excellent.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And then I can only assume a whole storm of couples stormed the stage, demanded to be nominated.
Fair. I did get the impression from some of the other people in costume around us that they didn't announce that they had bumped up the costume contest to earlier. So some people were really disappointed because they had hoped to be part of it, and then they never got a chance to, like, yeah.
That's true. They probably would have bumped it up by like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So some people were very disappointed.
Yeah. If you're someone like Sydney, you can't make that big a time change.
No, absolutely not.
Her life is chaos. There's not enough pills for that
No.
already.
No substance on earth could I tolerate a 20-minute time change for. Yeah, when I was in the line waiting for water, there were some tweens in front of me. They were like, oh my god, everyone's costume looks so good. And then the other tween was like, except for the people that didn't dress up. Those people suck. And it was like, tweens are mean.
I mean, if I had a costume, I would have dressed up.
I dressed up like a time traveler.
The time traveler would have worn the local clothing as to not direct attention to themselves.
Once they found it, if I just time traveled, I wouldn't have had time to have the clothes.
What if an evil duke steals your time machine because you look so out of place?
Well, then I guess I just live in the past.
Yeah, we missed out on the magic show, or the magic show never showed up, missed out on us. So we decided to walk through the little encampment the showrunners had made. I assume it was for the showrunners. I'm not quite sure what was going on.
It was neat, though.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I don't think that's a real camping area, though, because, like, there was no actual camping gear.
I mean, their tents
was
were
beds.
like wood and cloth structures, and one of them, the flaps were open and we could see someone snoozing away inside on their bed of furs, and
Yep.
it looked real cozy.
It
Is
did.
that comfortable, though, in 30 degree?
That I don't know.
Depends how good you are at napping.
Yeah.
I can't nap in the heat.
I assume everything was being kept to as traditional as they could. There was campfires going in some places, like one of those bowls suspended over a campfire.
Yeah, oh yeah, they were definitely cooking meat. It smelled delicious.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of other events going on that we just, because of timing, like you could just sit out there all day. Granted, again, 30-degree weather, but if it wasn't so hot, you could have sat at the stands all day and watched various events. Like they had a Viking demonstration that happened just after the jousting that we didn't go to.
I think also on the schedule, as we were eating our lunch, they were doing a shield advance demonstration.
Yeah.
Oh, and they had a guy that was just, like, teaching whoever how to sword fight.
Yep.
That was cool.
That was cool too.
Yep.
I've already done sword fighting, though.
Humble
job.
brag.
Yeah. Swords are heavy.
Yes.
And I fought a left-handed person, which is terrifying because they're swinging the wrong way that they're supposed to swing for the block that you're practicing because you're not actually trying to kill each other, Mom.
Terrified by your own mother.
Yeah. The worst. I'm fidgeting.
That's fine. I think we're kind of at the end of our exploration of the medieval fair while we were there.
Yes.
We've reached a natural stopping point.
Oh wait, there's more.
Would
There's
you recommend
more.
it to a friend?
Would you recommend it to a friend?
I recommend sunscreen to my friend that's going tomorrow and to bring his own bottle of water.
Would you go again?
Oh, yeah. It'd be better if they had horsicorns next time. So you said it's not over, Cheryl?
You know, Chris has something in store for us.
Is it a quiz?
It is a quiz. So
You're
you
becoming predictable.
too have immersed yourself in medieval culture. And so, how much do you think you know about medieval times now?
Nothing.
Hmm.
I know one thing.
What do you know?
I'm not going to tell you before the quiz. It's
Okay.
the only thing I know.
Oh, and back to our topic, if we would recommend it to a friend. I'm pretty sure I saw someone I know there, so I'm gonna have to message my good artist friend Angela, see if that was her.
Are they a friend or not a friend? Oh, they are a friend. I have frenemies.
You don't have friends.
I have frenemies, I said.
So you guys know how, like, different times in history, there's, like, different words for things that sort of fall out of use. Like, we have
No.
words now that were not used, like, 1,000 years ago.
All of the words we have now were used 1,000 years ago. Every single one of them. I don't know why I'm so aggressively
What
taking
about
the wrong
internet?
side of this argument. I just want to fight.
That's what heat stroke does. Or heat exhaustion. My bad.
What's the difference?
Heat stroke is you're probably going to die.
Oh. Like, actually, what if you go to the hospital?
Well, it as I said, it means you're probably going to die. Like, seek medical attention. Heat exhaustion is just,
Does heat exhaustion precede a heat stroke?
yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to take advantage
Heat
of your
safety.
offensiveness,
Why?
and I'm going to pitch you against Cheryl in a quiz
Excellent.
on what these old-timey medieval words, what the meanings are.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so this is courtesy of mentalfloss.com. There's an article where they have 16 weird forgotten English words we should bring back. This is written by Aaron McCarthy way back in the olden times of 2014.
Whoa.
First word is astrologamage. Astrologamage.
Do we get options or we just have to take our best guess?
Your best guess.
Stars.
Pissing off the gods to the point that you get bad luck.
I think Sydney was closer, so she gets 0 points because
Why do I get 0 points?
you were also kind of not 100% correct. So it's basically the medieval era's psychics. These so-called wise men made predictions based on what was happening in the sky. So what's happening in the sky, stars, you were
I was basically there.
0.1% correct.
Whatever. These are rigged.
Number 2, can you guys tell me what crapulence means?
You're a crapulence.
Breaking bones.
Is that your final answer, Sydney?
No, I'm thinking.
Crapulence.
I think it's about turds.
This word, from the Latin root crapula, not to be mistaken with Dracula, arose in the 18th century. According to Kasserk, I don't know who Kasserk is, it denoted intestinal and cranial distress arising from intemperance and debauchery. Put it another way, if you get crunk, expect crapulence.
I guess it was about turds.
You're still only 0.1% correct.
Nope.
Who can tell me what an eye servant is?
Just servant that sees for you. Wait, like EYE or like AYE?
EYE, like eyeball. Eye servant.
I think he reads your mail. It's a servant that reads your mail for you.
Interesting thought. So, a term describing a servant who did his duty only lazily, except within sight of his master. A form of insincerity known as eye service. Replace servant with employee and master with boss. And you could probably know a few people whom this term would apply.
Me.
It's basically people who only look like they're working when the boss is watching. This word might be borrowed from Old German, so Cheryl's got a leg up. She's got German DNA.
But I know how to say Guten Morgen.
Flitterwachen. Flitterwachen.
I think it's prancing.
Or maybe Flitterwachen.
I think that's when you flitter when you walk.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
I'm going to say it's a type of dance.
You're close. and you and I will be flitterwalking next year. This old English expression meant fleeting weeks and refers to what we today call a honeymoon. Flitterwalking is obviously a much better word.
Yeah, flitterwalking sounds awesome.
Yep. All right. Do you guys know what a fribbler is?
No.
A fribbler. Any guesses?
Like a warbler.
So like a bird?
Yeah.
Okay, you guess a bird.
I'm gonna guess that it has something to do with like a part of like a tailor trade, like somebody who works with fabric or artisan goods, like creating clothing.
So you're both wrong.
Mhm.
The fribbler is from the 18th century, and chances you may know one. He says he's really into a lady, but just won't commit. The behavior of a fribbler was called fribbledom.
Nice.
Do you guys know what a groaning cheese is? This is number 6. Groaning.
A cheese that is groaning.
Groaning cheese.
How's groaning spelt?
Sort of like a groan with
Okay.
ing.
Okay.
A hard cheese. A soft cheese. A molding cheese. Those
gonna
are my guesses.
I'm gonna say stinky cheese.
A stinky cheese.
Mhm.
You're both kind of correct. It does have to do with cheese.
We knew it.
So back in the day, when your wife was giving birth, husbands didn't just hold their wives' hands. They gave them the medieval version of an epidural, cheese. Groaning cheese was said to soothe a lady in labor, and so husbands paired it with groaning cake and groaning drink.
Nice.
Interesting.
Groaning drink was probably alcohol.
Yep. What is a grog blossom?
I don't know. Grog is like grog.
Mm-hmm.
Like mead or something, maybe. I don't know.
But what is a grog blossom?
Blossoming mead.
It might be random. Could it be hops?
Or a troll.
The way you had this far off look, you're like, or troll. This is a word from the 18th century for the dilation of blood vessels caused by long-term overconsumption of the drink in an alcoholic's nose. So, you know, old drunkards who've got ruddy cheeks and runny nose. That's grog blossom.
Interesting.
Cool.
What is a lettuce cap?
Where you use lettuce as a cup.
Can you explain that?
So, like, you get some lettuce
Yeah,
and you use it as a cup.
instead of a regular cup?
Yep.
Okay.
Did you say cup or cap?
Cap.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But it's like a nightcap is a drink.
I mean, nowadays, yes. It's going to be a type of hat for sure. But I'm going to guess that it's like a type of hat that, I don't know, the commoners wore. A specific style that I don't quite understand because, yeah.
So Cheryl is most correct. A lettuce cap was a medical device that was used in the 16th and 17th centuries. As a medical device, what you would do is you would shave your patient's head, and then you fill this cap with herbs, and you place it on the person's head, and it would supposedly cure them of ailments like headaches and insomnia. So Cheryl, we should make you a lettuce cap.
Gladly.
These are problems you have.
I feel like if that would make me sleep, it would be fantastic.
So, everybody, take off your lettuce caps and put on your thinking caps. We're about halfway through the quiz here.
Okay.
Plenty of time for Sydney to pick up the slack.
It's rigged.
Number 9 here. Mumpsimus or Mumpsimus.
When you have the mumps as a moose. Final answer.
Is it just your cheeks?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, these are hard. The word originally meant an incorrigible, dogmatic old pedant, but eventually came to refer to an incorrect opinion that someone clung to. So the guy who runs the Creationist Museum, he's a Mumpsimus.
Oh, yeah.
What is a night hag?
Like a hooker.
How much do you think said hooker costs?
Like 6 pence.
6 pence hooker.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a night hag is someone who keeps, like, a night company. So kind of like an assistant or a helper.
Okay. I gotcha.
Like a night groupie.
Mm-hmm.
A night hag is actually... So, if people from medieval times had a bad dream, they could blame it on a night hag. This female demon kidnaps people at night on horseback and gives them nightmares by producing a feeling of suffocation. There are numbers of strategies for keeping a night hag at bay, including placing bread blessed at the local parish under a child's pillow. I guess any child will do. Arranging shoes under the bed with the toes pointing out, and hanging flint chips, aka hag stones, around the bedposts. So just hang some rocks around your bed. No old lady's gonna come suffocating you at night.
Makes sense.
Works every time. What is a nimgimmer?
Like, I don't know. Maybe someone else like, give me stuff, Nim.
Can you guess, Cheryl?
You know, the first thing that came to my mind is a fisherman of some sort, so I'm just gonna go with that.
A nimgimmer is a term for a surgeon who specialized in curing pox or the clap.
Stupid.
So if you hang out with one of Sydney's sixpence hookers and you get something, you call the nimgimmer.
Gotcha.
What is numbles?
A hooker.
Final answer?
Yeah.
What is numbles? And the answer is kind of in the name.
A mumbling hooker.
You're hearing letters that Chris isn't saying.
You're hearing letters that Chris isn't
Okay.
saying.
I'm just gonna say when someone's testicles go numb.
That is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Call it the numbles.
Mm-hmm.
This word is actually taken from Old French, refers to animal intestines and internal organs, which were eaten by peasants in a dish called garbage pie.
Nice.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Hmm.
That is a garbage pie.
What is a petit fogger?
Like a petty fucker. Or a hooker.
I know what you're going to be doing with the rest of your day. You're going to make some calls. Get some company over, aren't you?
Gross.
Spend 6 pence.
I don't even have 6 pence.
I don't think sixpence will get you much these days.
Mm-hmm. Cheryl, what do you think a petit fogger is?
I'm gonna get someone who works in the lighthouse.
Sydney is surprisingly close with her first answer. She called it a petty fucker.
Yeah.
Basically, people would have called lawyers, like, if guys know Breaking Bad, Saul Goodman, they would have called him a petty fogger. For a fee, these attorneys were willing to quibble over insignificant legal points or use unethical practices in order to win a case.
Boom. Crushed it.
Good job.
When you're calling someone a pigsnai, what does that refer to?
Being pig-headed.
Yeah, that.
I'm going to give the point to Cheryl, because she's closest.
We guessed the same thing.
No, you just piggyback.
You piggy.
All the joy you get is riding on coattails.
Stupid.
This is a term coined by Chaucer for a sweetheart. Basically comes from the phrase a pig's eye. Second last one. Sydney, put away your phone.
I'm organizing my ride.
What is a pill garlic?
A garlic pill.
I'll give you a hint. There's kind of sort of one in this room right now.
A dog.
A pillow filled with garlic.
It is the 16th century word for a bald head, which
Haha.
apparently resembled peeled garlic.
I see.
Oh, peeled garlic.
And for the last one, this will be the tiebreaker because you both have the same amount of points. One.
Excellent.
What is a ratiner?
Like a guy that gardens rats.
I'm just gonna say pest control. It's a pest control guy. He kills rats.
Yep, Cheryl gets this one. It is an
I said
exterminator.
Whatever.
This 14th century term taken from the Old French raton and the medieval word ratonus, which both refers to rats.
Whatever.
So, Cheryl wins. Cheryl's the smartest person in the room. Sorry, Sydney.
Rude.
And with the end of that quiz here, that takes us to the end of today's very special episode. Thanks for joining us. Our next episode will be on the 31st, which will be our Halloween special. Make sure you tune in and enjoy that.
Because it's spooky.
Yep, we gave Sydney some real spooks. So thanks for joining us for today's episode. I am one of your hosts, Chris, signing out.
This is Cheryl.
I'm Sydney. I did the thing.
We all did the thing.
Well, I did the thing more than you did the thing.
You just got lost.
Listen, it was confusing. Confusing.
Thanks for listening to today's very special episode of the I Went Outside Today podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, spread the joy and share us with your friends or leave a review.
If you really enjoy our podcast and you want to support us in doing more episodes, consider donating to our Patreon or leave us suggestions in the comment section on our website or social media. Or you can email us at iwentoutsidepod@gmail.com.
And make sure you follow us on our social medias. We got Twitter. We got Facebook. We don't got Snapchat because that's for creeps.
We don't have Twitter.
We don't have Twitter.
Facebook and Instagram.
We got Facebook, Insta.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I'm not going to do it again. It's not going to be as good. Why don't we have Twitter? We got Facebook. We got Instagram. And you can see all our photos and adventures that don't get turned into episodes because every day of our life is an adventure. Bye.